Welcome back to the Splash Live, Greater West Bloomfield's live daily news and talk show. I'm Tyler Kieft alongside Diane Chabon. We talk all the time about really impressive teams on the football field, on the soccer field, on the basketball court, and across all sports at West Bloomfield High School. But arguably one of the most impressive teams at the high school in our local community is their robotics team, and they have a very exciting event coming up this weekend at West Bloomfield High School for all you car lovers that are getting a little bit excited before the Woodward Dream Crew season. A perfect opportunity this weekend on August 13th, 9 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. in the parking lot at West Bloomfield High School. Joining us now on the program are a couple of individuals from the robotics team, Dr. Alicia Mindlin, as well as Khatab Alkhashali on today's program. Thank you both for being with us today.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Yeah, glad to have you on. I want to start with you, Khatab. Tell us about the WBHS Atomigators team. Because when I think about the robotics team, for some reason, and maybe it's just my wacky mind that does it, the first thing I think about is those old BattleBots shows where teams build robots that are essentially fighting each other in a ring. But there's so much more that goes into these robotics teams. Tell us about everything that you guys do.
Oh no, it's more than that. It's as exciting as the BattleBots. It's just each season is composed of a game, and we build our robot according to the game. So we compete against other teams, and we just make it happen.
And so what goes into the whole process of devising these robots, understanding the game that you're going to be participating in, and then going into the design, the testing, and the execution of making the perfect robot to play that game?
So of course it takes a lot of kids. We have a lot of sub teams. We have business, build, coding, and of course design. We start off by the design. The design kids get the robot ready. We read the instructions, make sure everything is good, and then the build team starts building the actual robot.
And this is really impressive stuff, Dr. Mindlin. I want to bring you in as one of the adult leaders of this team, and that's helping this team out on a year-to-year basis. So, just how hard are these kids working to take the tasks that are in front of them, work together as a team, and ultimately work a robot that's going to do some really incredible stuff, all from the high school level?
Well, this is my first year actually being with the high school. So from elementary and middle school, I've been there 6 years now. So, but last year I got to start working with the high schoolers, and it's a lot. It's almost like a full-time job, between, coordinating schedules, and then, like Khatab said, we have a lot of subgroups. And so getting them to talk to one another, this is done all after school as well. So it's a big time commitment. Like you said about sports, this is kind of like our sport, right? Like we've got we might be in there for an hour, we might be in there for 5 hours. So it is time intensive, especially when we get down to the wire, but right before competition, it's kind of a little madhouse in the lab, so to speak.
And Dr. Mindlin, with all the emphasis that has been put on STEM education in recent years, and we know from the West Bloomfield School District, STEAM education, they add an A to that: science, technology, engineering, arts, and math. Now, how does this help in executing what these kids are learning in the classroom, out in real-world situations, while also bringing in those other real-world qualities like working as a team, effective communication, time management, and so on?
Well, I think it ties it in beautifully. Like Khatab has said, I help with the business. And so you have to learn about time management. And then we get together working in subgroups as far as advertisement goes. We've looked at what do we have to outsource? Who do we outsource? Fundraising, being in the part of the community, getting the community involved. So, there's that business aspect of it. The arts, obviously, creativity. When you think of robots, you really don't think of arts. You really think of like building, right? Engineering. But there is an art to it, right? Like you have to have the design and that kind of thing. And then, like working together as a team, math, That's not my strong suit, so you have to ask somebody else, because I'm not an engineer by any means. But I think it's all encompassing, and it really is all part of this team. Um, it's funny though that you say that, because this year that's what our theme is for the robotics. It's STEAM. So it is the arts. It's giving credit and acknowledgement to all of it as a diverse group.
And Khatab, going back to you, I'm not too far removed from high school. I know 10 years or so removed from high school, but I know from back then, working in a group project was tough then, and in a small group. But working in a group of this size, and what sort of challenges does that present to you and to your fellow students? And how do you often go about that as a team, tackling those challenges and ultimately coming through in a big way with these robots?
Oh yeah, I know. It's a lot of team building exercises that we do. Of course, the coaches help out as well if there's any issues. But at the end of the day, we all like doing it. We like robotics. We enjoy being in that lab, and we just make it happen.
And in terms of your interest in the robotics, how did you get involved with this team?
So I joined 10th grade. Right now I'm a senior. I'm finishing my last year of high school. I joined just because I like the engineering program. I want to be an engineer. So that's what attracted me to it. And I made friends on the team. So that's what's been keeping me on the team.
And going back to what I was talking with Dr. Mindlin about earlier on, Khatab, applying what you're learning in the classroom, those STEAM elements that you're learning day in and day out as you're going to class and doing your homework, taking your tests, and so on. Have you found this to be a way to not only take that education and apply it to something, but actually build on that and become more advanced by doing?
Oh yeah. I mean, the class, that's where you sit down, take notes. But robotics, that's where you get to do the stuff, I've learned a lot of stuff, especially on design. We've been using Onshape, AutoCAD, stuff like that. And it's just been helping me out, making me just comfortable with it when I leave high school and start my job.
Joining us on the program today is Khatab Alkhashali from the West Bloomfield High School Atomigators robotics team, as well as Dr. Alicia Mindlin, one of the adult supervisors of the team as well. They got a really exciting event coming up this weekend, August 13th. That is Sunday, 9 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. at West Bloomfield High School. They're going to have a car show there. You can bring your classic cars, your hot rods, your exotic vehicles, your sports cars, and so on. Really, any vehicle is welcome to come out to this event over the weekend. It all begins at 8:30 with the parking, the event at 9 o'clock, judging and awards between 11:30 and 12 noon. Khatab, tell us about this event, and really from an organizational standpoint, why a car show to bring people in and fundraise for the robotics team?
So Alicia brought us this idea, and we loved it. West Bloomfield has never had a car show, and we said, why not? Let's do it. And it's going to be a great event for the community. It's going to bring in a lot of attention to our team, and we're just going to have fun and do it.
And Alicia, from what Khatab said, you bringing in this idea and having it on August 13th, so close to the Woodward Dream Cruise, I would imagine that was something very much done on purpose to generate interest, given the season that we're in, and also to bring a lot more eyes onto the West Bloomfield High School robotics team.
Oh yeah, there was definitely no picking the date was either before the Dream Cruise. We thought after the Dream Cruise, and not really. But the car scene I've been a part of for a very long time. So Roadkill is that weekend as well. So there are going to be a lot of eyes and a lot of vehicles here. And so I thought, why not? We also, you brought about fundraising. Like, it is not inexpensive sport. And we look to get money where we can, and people are very generous, and we figure, well, robotics, cars, let's put it together, like Khatab said, West Bloomfield, to our knowledge, has never had a huge car show ever, which is really crazy because Orchard Lake and, it is a crazy street anyway. But if you look all around, you see all sorts of different cars. And so we hope to have that be successful and an annual event.
Yeah, also awards being handed out too at this event to cars participating. So if cars want to participate in the judging, they want to be there, they want to have their car judged, how can they go about doing that and maybe even bring home the hardware on Sunday?
Well, there's two ways. Well, one is like right now up until Sunday morning, it's $15. And we have a CRL code. You can find it on Facebook events. You can find it on a lot of the event page, and you can either Venmo me or you can email me. And my email is very, very simple. It's aliciamindlin@gmail.com. And then you're registered. And then we have like a judging sheet, and you can fill that out. And then we'll have our judges walk around the day of the event, and hopefully we're the one with the most votes. We have, I think, 10 different awards. So there's a lot there, from classics to modern mods. We didn't limit it to cars because we're an eclectic group. So we have motorcycles, trucks, you name it. Right now we have a 71 Carmen Ghia. We have, I believe, a 68 Barracuda. And we even have a Packard, which I believe is a 46, if I'm not mistaken. So
a lot of impressive vehicles already. Yeah, a lot of impressive vehicles already getting ready to head out to the event. Again, $15 to pre-register, $20 on the day of the event. You can also learn more information about the car show, as well as get in contact with the West Bloomfield Atomigators robotics team on their website, wbhsrobotics.com. That's right. Not only are they building robots, they're also coding websites. What are these kids doing? They're surpassing us every single day. It's incredibly impressive. And so, Khatab, if students, you said you joined in 10th grade, if students at West Bloomfield High School want to get involved in this, want to apply their education, have a lot of fun, and build those life skills, how can they get involved with the team?
Walk in. That's all we ask. Walk in and we'll get you situated. Go into classroom 505 and we can get you situated and welcome you with open arms.
A welcoming group and an exciting group doing some incredible things right here in the West Bloomfield community. Khatab, Dr. Mindlin, thank you both for joining us today.
Thank you for having us. We hope to see you on the 13th.
Yeah, we'll be glad to see you out there. August 13th, that is this week, Sunday, 9 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. Get there early with your cars. It begins, parking begins at 8:30 a.m. You can pre-register before the event, save $5, $15 tickets, or drive up on the day of the event. Again, parking begins at 8:30 a.m. $20 on the day of the event. Concessions will be available on site for cash only. Music also there, and plenty of cars with judging of these cars for 10 awards beginning at 11:30, and the awards being handed out beginning at 12 noon before it all wraps up at 12:30. And best thing about it, you're supporting our kids right here in West Bloomfield doing amazing things each and every day. August 13th, Sunday, 9 a.m. to 12:30 p.m., the first annual West Bloomfield High School Robotics Car Show happening on site in the parking lot at West Bloomfield High School.